Hello and welcome to Joanne's Cosmic Energy. How is everybody doing today in this powerful one day before the full moon's energy, which is powerful energy coming in for 12/12? I'm going to try to talk about that a little bit later because my focus today is really speaking about, and chatting it up about 2020 because it's some powerful energy. But before we go into the 2020 energy, I just want to give a quick shout out to two of my sponsors. We have Relax with Raquel, and then we also have our Dropping Gems, owner of Dropping Gems, holistic lifestyle coach, and award-winning author of the Dropping Gems book series. You can learn more about her services at www.keishachristian.com. So those are our sponsors for today. So let's kick it right into our 2020 energy. How many of you are excited about this 2020 energy? And how many of you have absolutely no idea what this 2020 energy is even about? Well, I'm going to change that for you. So by the time the show is over, you're going to have a whirlwind of information to prepare you for 2020. I'm going to invite you to grab a notebook and pen because you're going to want to take notes today, or go back and watch on the replay. Either way works for me. So let's start off with the fact that 2020 has two twos in it. And this is going to be the first time and only time in our lifetime that we're going to experience a year that has double twos in it. And the power of the double twos is all about the communication, the relationships, the collaborations, the partnerships that we're all going to be investing ourselves in 2020. Then we have the powerful zeros. There's two of them. And in numerology, every number has a frequency and a vibration. And twos and zeros are no different. So let's just take a moment to think about the zero energy, the power behind the zero. The energy of the zero is all about amplifying the energy almost like tenfold. That's what I'm going to say, almost like tenfold. So amplifying whatever the energy we're focusing in on tenfold. So if you're focusing your energy on your career, that energy is going to be tenfold. If you're focusing your energy on your health, tenfold. If you're focusing in on a relationship, tenfold. I think you get the idea. So I just want to give you a little bit of history about this 2020 energy that we have going on. When we think about it, for 10 years, we were in a decade of a one energy. One is all about the ego, leadership, and action. And notice I said ego. For the last 10 years, we've all really been working through our ego. We've all been very defensive. We've all been wanting to have arguments and debate, and we wanted to be right. And that's all about that leadership, the action, and the ego. Now, as we move into this two energy, the Master Two energy, it's now about intuition, intuitiveness, connection, and sensitivity, and fairness. You're actually going to find yourself wanting to take a step back when having conversations with people and not be so quick to want to defend yourself and be right about something, because you're no longer going to be in your ego. You're now going to really be in the state of your intuition and being more intuitive to and attentive to the conversations you're having with whomever it is you're going to be having conversations with. So it's really powerful energy. And I want to bring to your attention that when we think about that two energy, it is really about the collaborations that you are having with people. So I want you to just do like a reflection for a moment and think about anyone in your past, present past or past life, or maybe in your childhood, that you've had disagreements with. You may find yourself thinking about these people and coming to a space in your own heart to forgive them. You don't necessarily have to have a conversation with them to forgive them. You can actually just sit quietly, think of the person, and whatever the disturbance was at that time, you might say, I come to peace with this, and I free myself of the heaviness that you've been carrying all these years due to that disturbance that you had. And that's that Chu energy that we have going on, that's going to be going on as we move in to 2020. So it is really about, again, the collaboration, the relationships, the partnerships, the really getting into that space of intuition, connection. Sensitivity is the word I'm hearing really loud. Sensitivity. We are all going to be more sensitive, much more sensitive, and fair. So it's not, again, about the ego anymore. So this energy is all about choosing and reaching from the past into the we. It's about the we. As when we step into the zero energy, it's magical energy that is being of the potential of how will you move ahead with this new energy, with intention, connection, in all relationships. All relationships. That's powerful. That's really powerful. Now, let's focus in here on the 2020 energy. Now, currently, as we sit right now in 2019, we are in what we call a global collective energy of 3. So each and every one of us for the last 12 months, since we are in December already, we've all been in the space of wanting to communicate, share our voice, speak our truth, perhaps even be rude about it for that matter, but that's okay. And also create and manifest things. So I want to ask you to reflect again on what is it that you've been communicating about, and also what is it that you've been creating, because that's really the big question here. What have you created in this year of 2019 that you are actually manifesting? So by the time we do change the calendar over, you could sit back and reflect on and say, wow, this is what I created in 2019. And yes, that would be your ego because, you're going to be flaunting in it. That's okay. We're allowed to flaunt when we create things. That's the power of it. But that 3 energy is all about how we communicated, how we created, and what we manifested, which we're going to be slowly moving out of, moving into that 2020 energy, which is all about the 4 energy. So I just want to reflect here for a moment when we talk about the 2, the 0, and the 4. So the 2, again, is all about the partnerships, the relationships, the collaborations, and the connections that we're going to be having. The powerful zeros is a magical energy of potential. So when we think about anything we're looking to create, anything we're looking to collaborate with, think of the potential of it happening. So think of it being big. So as we're going to say for 2020, it's really all about make it big or go home. Make it big or go home. And that's really the energy. So it's really powerful energy when we think about this 2, 0. And then that 4 energy, that 4 is all about a foundation, being grounded, the ability to create. That's that 4 energy. So when we move into 2020, we're moving into a space of foundation. So again, this is about a reflection of how is your foundation with yourself? Because we always have to remember that it always starts with self first before we can even think about anybody else for that matter. So self is first. So the foundation you have with yourself, and then begin to explore outward with the foundations you have with other people, whether it be your career, or it be your job, or it be a family member, a coworker, a sibling, a parent, whatever it might be, but that foundation. This is the year to start developing strong foundations. This is the year to really step into the space of clearing out any heaviness that sits in our bodies from whether it be anger, frustration, disappointment, and stepping into a space of being able to forgive. And I've actually been using that word a lot today, forgive, especially with a lot of my clientele doing the healing work that I do. So forgiveness is key and major when we're stepping into this 4 energy, because it's about being grounding yourself so you can develop a better foundation with yourself and everybody else around you, and the ability to create that. So this is a perfect time to manifest your dreams by using your intuition and your wisdom and the inner knowledge that you do have. And with the 2020 energy, this is not about school books anymore. We're not focusing on how knowledgeable you are because you read a textbook. This is knowledge that comes from within. This is knowledge that comes from your intuition. This is knowledge that is actually downloaded from your higher power, downloading to you to help you become and to demonstrate the person you are meant to be, the better version of yourself. As we've done all this work since, we're going to say, back in 2016 to current date, we've done a lot of work shredding the things that no longer serve us, whatever it might be, whatever emotions that might have shown up as a volcano for that matter. We have done the work. And now we are a better version of ourselves. So as we move into this 2020 energy, it helps us to see the foundations that we are developing and how grounded we can really be so we can create. Because when we are not grounded, creating becomes a challenge. Because when we're not grounded, we cannot focus and we're not productive. And focus and productive are two key components to being able to create something. When you are, I like to say, a scatterbrain, you're not going to be able to focus in on what it is you're looking to create. So this 2020 energy is so powerful. And I myself am feeling the energy already. And I'm loving this energy, this 4 energy. After all, one of my numbers in my birthday is a 4. So for me, I'm going to really feel this powerful energy. So moving into that information, the next thing I like to talk about is, what is your personal energy for 2020, meaning of 4? Now, how do we determine that? When you think about your birthday, your month plus your day, you're going to add those 2 numbers or 3 numbers, and then you're going to take it and add it to the 4. So for example, and remember, you want to have a pen and paper for this, my birthday is 3-4, so it equals a 7, plus that 4, which brings me into an 11, brings me into an 11, which is a Chu energy. So for me, being in a collective 4 energy, which is what the whole world's going to be in, personally speaking, I'm in a personal Chu energy. And what that actually means, and I'm going to give you the benefits, and then I'm going to give you the challenge behind this. So the benefits of a Chu energy is it's all about the relationships. So I am really focusing, I'm really building a foundation around my relationships, the partnerships I'm going to have with my career and also my personal life, and romantic and business, social as well, and here's the biggie, self. As I said before, self is the primary. If I don't have a foundation and relationship with my own self, I'm not going to be really successful on having a very founded relationship with anybody else. So I must work on making sure that foundation with myself is primary. So that's the Chu energy. However, now, the challenge behind the Chu energy, should I not step up to the plate and do what I'm supposed to do to be in that energy, my challenge is going to be, or anyone who's a Chu energy is going to be, playing it small, not wanting to be seen. Because sometimes it is a challenge to step up and work on yourself and have that sturdy foundation and being able to create healthy and happy relationships and partnerships. So sometimes it's easier just to sort of crawl back, stay small, and not move forward. And that's okay too, because we all have a choice. That's the beauty of this, is we all have a choice. So just giving you an understanding of how I'm going to break down the energy for every number from 1 to 9. And again, going back just to rehash, you take your month that you're born in, your date that you were born on, add those numbers together, and then you're going to take the number 4, because 2020 equals a 4. And then you're going to add those numbers, and that's going to give you your personal energy to determine on what you're going to be focusing in on for this entire year of 2020. So here we go. I'm going to read it out. And again, grab your pen and paper so you can write this down. And again, just also so you do know, the phone lines will be open. So those of you who are interested in getting a personal reading here, feel free to call in at 516-945-9099. So here we go. We're going to start it off for January. Those of you who are born in a 1 energy. So again, whether it's January, February, March, whatever it is, all you're doing is you're taking your month, the day that you're born, adding them together, and take that 4 and add that. So anyone who's a personal energy of a 1 is a new beginning. It's a new beginning to develop a new foundation in your life, in all areas of your life. So it's not just one particular area. You may want to focus on one area, but overall, excuse me, overall, it's all areas of your life. So we have the whole area. Now, when we think about the challenge behind this, because that's a biggie. So when you're in your personal energy of 1, having to do new beginnings in all areas of your life, setting up new foundations and creating great relationships and business partners, etc., that can be pretty scary. So the challenge is being able to let go of your ego and ask for help. So again, we're letting go of the ego that we've been working on for the last 10 years. We're letting that go. Those of you in that personal 1 energy, it's time to let go of your ego and ask for help should you have a challenging time stepping into some new beginnings and setting up some foundations. We already talked about the 2 energy, so no sense in going back in there. We're going to move into the 3, the personal 3 energy. 3 is all about the creativity and manifesting and communication, which was the energy we were in 2019. But when we talk about the 3 and the personal energy and collective energy of the 4, now we're creating, manifesting, and communicating with foundations. What kind of foundation are you going to create? How are you going to communicate about that foundation? What kind of foundations are you going to be manifesting? And how are you going to share your voice? Speaking, writing, singing. Those are perfect ways to share your voice. Get yourself out there. This is what we're going to be doing with those who are a personal 3 energy. It's your time to create, your time to manifest, your time to communicate, creating foundations. Foundations, relationships, partnerships. Remember, that's the key word here. Now, the challenge behind the 3 energy, the personal 3s, worrying about failure and not succeeding. That's going to be your challenge. Where you're going to be so concerned that everything has to be perfect that you're going to be afraid to fail. And I'm here to tell you to push through that. Push through it. Because I firmly believe that as long as you try, you succeeded. For those of you who don't try, that's when you fail. So always push through. Create the foundation. Manifest the foundation. Communicate, communicate, communicate. That's your 3 people. 3 energy. So if you are a personal energy of 3, that's what you'll be doing in 2020. Now we have our 4 energy. Now, the 4 energy is going to be very powerful because not only is it your personal energy, but it's the collective energy. So this is going to be a year of your foundation. This is what I like to say, your year. So this is a powerful year. This is almost like your rebirth year. It's like, for example, anyone who was born in a 4 energy year, whether it's your actual year that you were born in and it ends up in a 4, this is your year. 2020 is going to be your year to be reborn, your year to shine, your year to really set your foundation. So this is your year to organize. This is your year of energy. Anything is possible for those of you in your 4 personal energy year because it's your 4 collective year as well. Challenge though, you're going to be overworking and overly controlling. Excuse me. So ask for help. Ask for help. Moving into our 5 energy. Year of excitement and fun. 5 is all about that freedom, the change, unpredictability. But in this 4 collective energy, it's a year of excitement and fun. Pleasure in relationships. Potentially years where you see things just flying because things are just going to be so much fun and exciting in the 5 energy, where it's about the freedom, the change, but really excitement and fun. So this is your year to really have a lot of fun in those relationships, especially the relationship. And I'm speaking more on the intimate level here, not the career level, not the business part of it. On those of you who are in your 5 energy year, personal year, this is your year to have a lot of excitement and fun in your relationship. So I'm excited for you guys because you're going to have a lot of fun. Challenge, though, too much energy. You're going to be so overwhelmed with all this excitement and just not know how to handle yourself. And you may cause yourself to get burnt out. So my suggestion to you is to have some downtime, meditate, and focus on reflecting. Those are my 5 energy folks. Our 6 energy folks. 6 is all about how we heal and nurture, taking care of ourselves and, of course, taking care of others. So when you think about the 2024 energy, it's a year of healing all matters of the heart. So 6 energy folks, this is going to be a working year for you. You have to really tend to healing your heart. So perhaps over the last 3 years, you've been doing a lot of deep soul searching. This is your year to put it out on the table and really go deep into your heart and start mending what needs to be mended. This has to do with family. This has to do with loved ones. This has to do with community. And also, this is a great time for you 6 energy folks for marriage, births, rebirths, meaning you are going to be reborn, and also some loss as a 6 energy year. Now, the challenge here is this is a sensitive time. Do not lose yourself by pleasing others. So it's a sensitive time for you, so learn to say no in this year for those 6 personal energies. As we move into our 7 energy, personal energy folks. Now, I like 7 energies because 7 energies is all about how we sit quietly, we meditate, we reflect. However, in the 2020 energy, there's 4 collective energy of the foundation. This is all about going inward. It's time to get quiet. So like before with the 5 energies, they're going to have the excitement and fun. 7 energies are going to get quiet. 7 energies are going to want to go inward, want to spend a lot of time with themselves because it's their time to really become more more connected with who they are and only really want to connect with like-minded people. So if you're hanging with someone that's not like-minded, you're going to find yourself drifting away, because you're really going to want to be in the space of like-minded folks. So this is the 7 personal energy people. The 5 energy people are those going to have fun and excitement. The 7 energy people are going to be quieting down and really reflecting on themselves. However, the challenge here, not sociable. Fear of speaking your truth. So because you're going to be so withdrawn, you're not going to be sociable. And that can be a little bit of a problem. You're also going to have the fear of speaking your truth because you're going to be so involved with going inward that you're not going to have the strength to speak out. So that's your challenge. So really take this time to really get to know who you are on a much deeper level, a deep soul level. Now let's move into our 8 energy year. Those of you who are in your 8 energy personal year, this one's a fun one. And I always like when I'm in my 8 personal energy year because it's about abundance. It's about abundance. It's your year of abundance. It's your year to step into your leadership role and manifestation. This is your year to dream big. Dream big or go home. This is your year to open yourself up to receiving financial abundance in everywhere in your life. So open yourself up to doing that. Now, however, if there's any blockages or not feeling worthy enough to receiving the abundance, that might be a challenge for you. So the challenge that falls in with this is feeling overburdened and not being a leader. So it's really important to step into that leadership role, manifestation, and make sure you have your hands open, ready to receive financial abundance in all areas of your life, and not just financial abundance, but abundance in every area of your life, whether it be health, friendships, love, support, abundance in all areas of your life. And now we move into the famous 9 energy. Now the 9 energy, folks, which is also one of my favorites as well, but 9 energy is a challenging energy. And I call it a challenging energy because this is your year where you're setting the foundation of transforming, setting your foundation to evolve, setting your foundation to complete something. One of the things I've been saying a lot over the last couple of weeks is letting go, transforming, evolving, rebirth to step into a better version of yourself. And that's you guys, you 9 energy folks, your personal energy of 9. So you're really going to be focusing in on how can you transform? How can you become a better version of you? So if that is your energy, here is the challenge. The challenge here is it's about allowing yourself to let it go. Let it go. Step into the space where you become a better version of who you are. So that's our 9 energy. We're going to take a quick commercial break. And when we come back, I'm going to do a few card readings. And perhaps the phones will ring and I'll be able to answer some questions. And we'll take it from there. We'll be right back.
The Mindset Chi Therapy invites you to relax with Raquel for intuitive therapeutic massage, body work, and energy work. Chakra 1 therapy, essential oil classes, days off mini retreat, aura cleansing, individual and group meditation, and cacao ceremony. We welcome you. Relax with Raquel.
Greetings, my name is Keisha Christian, and I am the founder and lead instructor of Dropping Gems Academy. As an educator for nearly 2 decades, it is my mission to empower and educate others on living a holistic lifestyle. In addition to that, I'm a holistic lifestyle coach, so it's important to me to demonstrate to others how they can make small and simple changes to have a better quality of life. Be sure to visit www.droppinggemsacademy to claim your free gift and to check out the first introduction course to the Holistic Remedies class. I look forward to seeing you in class, and be sure to claim your free gift. Peace and blessings to you.
Hello and welcome back to Joanne's Cosmic Energy. If you are just tuning in, remember to share, like, and comment. And we were just speaking about the personal energy of each of our numbers from 1 to 9. And just getting a better understanding of this 2020 energy, the collective energy. Now, what does the collective energy actually mean? The collective is all about everyone in the world. No one's exempt from this. And we're all going to be feeling it. Some of us will feel it more than others because we're more awakened and we're more enlightened. But everyone's going to feel it. Everyone's going to have a desire to want to shift something. And you may not even realize that there's a shift going on, but there will definitely be. And for most of us, we're feeling it already because we're literally 3 weeks away from 2020. So when we think of that collective energy of the 2020, that 4, because when we add those numbers together, it breaks down to a 4 energy. And the 4 is a foundation. The 4 is the what we create and the stability and the balance that's going to be coming into this foundation. More like what I'm hearing is harmony and balance coming into our lives, which is powerful. So when we think about this 2020 energy, which makes me really excited, the double 2s, the relationships, the partnerships, and I always like to take it right back into ourselves because that's the most important foundation we can have is the partnership we have with ourselves. And when we think about your personal energy, and I'm just going to use mine because obviously that's all I have to work with right now is mine. So when we think about the 3, the 4, which is the 7, and then we have that 4 energy, which works us into that 2, it's making sure I work on my foundation, my internal self in reference to my partnership with me, my partnership with my higher self, my partnership with my higher power. And then also taking externally and focusing on the partnerships and the relationships I have with other people. So it would be the same concept with anyone else with whatever your numbers are. So it's really important to know what your actual personal energy is as we move into 2020. So again, if you are listening and you'd like to get some feedback to what your personal energy is, feel free to give a call at 516-945-9099. Phone lines are open, and I'm here to answer your questions in regards to what your personal energy is for 2020. So while we're waiting, I'm going to shuffle up some cards and see what inspiration we can gain today in regards to today's energy, which is all about the 11, because today is 12/11. And when we think about that, 11 energy is a master number. Every day has its own energy. Every day has its own frequency. And it plays a role, too, with our personal energy, because today is the 11 energy. So when we break down that 11, which is a master number, it's a chew. So overall, every one of us on this chew energy day is about the partnerships we have, the relationships we have. So just take a moment to reflect and ask yourself, well, how am I doing in my relationships? How am I doing with the relationship I have with myself? Do I have a relationship with myself? How do I treat myself? That's that chew energy. And when we take it, and now we're going to be bouncing it back into the 2019 energy for the minute, because we are still in 2019. When we take the 12, which is our 3, the 11, which is our 2, so we have a 5. So that 5 is, again, that freedom, that change, that unpredictability. And then we have the 3 from the 2019, so we have the 5 and 3, which brings us into an 8. And I think I mentioned before, 8 energy is one of my favorites. Today is a day to evaluate your partnership with your finances. Your partnership with your finances. So how many of you are actually sitting back and evaluating your budget? Evaluating how you're spending your money today. Evaluating, did you spend money today? And how often are you going and spending money? Do you have a day where you don't spend money at all? I forget where I heard this from, but there's someone out there that has a challenge where you take one day out of every week and you do not spend any money. Now, that requires a lot of preparation, because that means you're going to have to prepare your food at home, take it with you to work, and make sure if you have a car, make sure you've gassed up before that day that you're not spending money. If you are traveling to work by transportation, making sure you put money in your Metro card so you don't have to buy any put any money on your Metro card. And it takes a lot of preparation. But it's a great challenge to do on an 8 energy day where you're not spending money. You're actually sort of just reflecting and allowing yourself just to feel worthy enough to hold on to it for just a little bit. Because the next day you get to go and spend it, which is a good thing. So what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to pull a card and see what we need for this. And I love this. And ironically, before the show started, Bobby and I were actually chatting about this. Higher education. That's the card that just popped up. Higher education. And the number here is 3 and 6. Now, how does this have anything to do with what we were just talking about? Well, it has a lot to do with that 8 energy. Because when we think about our higher education, the question I guess we need to ask ourselves, is it financially worthwhile to, what's the word I want to use? To invest, because I don't want to use the word waste. Invest in your education on a higher education, or is it your ego that you're looking to work on in reference to getting a higher education? Something to think about, only because it's something I've been thinking about. So when we think about this 3-6 energy, the 3 is the communication. The 6 is how we heal. How we're healing ourselves in reference to, will a higher education satisfy you? And what kind of higher education are you looking for? Now, again, if you're looking to, let's say, take a certification course, that's perfect. Just to advance your career or just to gain extra knowledge. If you're looking to do something out of the box that's going to enhance you and advance you going forward. But in regards to a general higher education that involves, let's say, a degree, and it's not going to benefit you professionally, maybe it's something you might want to let go of. Let go of the idea of getting a higher education if, in fact, it's not going to help you professionally. Now, I do not want to discourage anybody from wanting to get a higher education, because that's not the goal here. The goal here is just to become more aware and be mindful of what is your reasons to wanting to get a higher education. And when we think of that 3 and 6, that's the 9 energy. So as we spoke about before, the personal energy as we move into the 2020, that foundation, and that 9 energy is about how we let go, how we transform, how we're going to evolve. And does your evolution really involve you needing a higher education? Now, the chakra that's associated with this card is our heart center, but it's pink. So it's really about the self-care, the self-nourishment, the love that you give yourself. And maybe the higher education that you're looking to invest in is really about that. Maybe it's just something that you need to do so you can feel good about yourself. And there's nothing wrong with that. I don't think there's anything wrong with that at all. So that's our first card in reference to the energy that we're going to be focusing on the 2020. So I'm going to move into another card and see what shows up for us. And then what I'm going to probably do is one more card, and then I'm going to talk a little bit about the full moon that's coming in tomorrow, because that's some powerful energy, and that full moon is actually going to set us up for the 2020 energy. So here's our next card. Our next card is about health. That's a pretty interesting foundation, health. And when we think about health, those of you in your personal 6 energy, this is primarily for you, because it's all about how you're taking care of yourself. And it could be for anybody, because again, when we look at our foundation going forward, how is your health? Because again, if your health is not at the highest point it can be, that's something you definitely want to work on, is your health. To be the better version, the most healthier version of yourself than you've ever been as you move into 2020. This chakra associated is the sacral chakra. So it's all about a rebirth. It's all about letting go of any shame or judgment you've been holding on to and stepping into the space of feeling confident with yourself and allowing yourself to become more reborn in better health. And our numbers here is a master number, which is 33. So the 3, again, is how we are communicating, how we're creating, and how we're manifesting. And on a personal level, in reference to personal energies of 3s in the 4 foundation year, it is really about your communication. Communicating and creating it, creating a foundation that's going to help you communicate better so you can speak about your health. Maybe there's certain things you're not talking to your doctors about. Maybe it's time you do. Go to the doctors, get the diagnosis, and then whatever is going on, then find yourself a really great healer. That would be me if you need any guidance. And the number we have here is number 6. So the 6 energy, again, goes back to healing and nurturing yourself. Very powerful. Very powerful. One more card and diving into full moon energy. All right, let's see what we got going on here. One more card. I love the fact that this card is showing up as our last card. It's all about having faith. Having faith. And I know for myself that word has popped up a lot in 2019 about trusting the process and stepping into your faith. And when we really think about this 2020 energy, the 2s and the 0s and the foundation of the 4, it's really allowing yourself to trust the faith, trust that your foundation that you are building is exactly what you need to be doing for you. And when we think about the chakra associated, it's our heart center again. So 3 of the cards that I pulled, 2 of them are focusing on the heart center today. So what I'm gathering is that many of us need to really focus on our heart to really let go of the heaviness that we hold on to and stepping into the faith so we can trust that we're exactly where we need to be. Now our numbers here is that 5 energy, which is all about, again, changing something so you can free yourself from something. So when you do step into that faith, that's a major change, and that does free you of all the worries and doubts that one may have. Now that 6 energy, again, is all about nurturing yourself. And that 5 and 6 equals your 11 energy. So the 11 going back again is your chew. So that chew is about the partnership you have with yourself, but even more importantly, the partnership you're going to have with your higher power as you step into faith. So that's a powerful card. Powerful card there. I love those 3 cards, how they showed up. And 2 of the 3, like I said, are relating to your heart center. So I'm going to encourage you and invite you today to really take some time to sit in your heart center and allow yourself to let go of one emotion that does not serve you. One emotion, doesn't matter what that emotion is, just let it go, release it. And by doing that, then I want to invite you to bring in one positive emotion that you want to create in your life as you move into 2020. So whatever that emotion is, think about creating it. So that's what we have with that in reference to creating your emotions. Oh, I think we have a caller. Who's on our call and where are you calling from?
Hi, this is Nina. I'm calling from Queens.
Hello, Nina, and how are you today?
I'm wonderful. How are you?
I'm doing well. Are you calling to get your personal energy for today?
Yes, please.
Okay, so what is your the month and the date? Month and date.
August 18.
August 18th. August 18th, so we're looking at, let's see, 8 and 9. So we have 17, which is 8. So you're moving into your personal energy of 3. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
3 energy. So, and it's interesting because if you were moving into your personal energy of 3 this year, this would be a perfect year for you because it would be your year. But we're moving into you're moving into a personal energy of 3, going into a collective energy of 4. So,
okay.
And I just want to double check that is in my head. Just double check the numbers. So it's August, which is 8, and you're 19, correct? Or 18?
18.
18.
18.
18 is 9. 8 and 9 is 17. Yes? My math is not always so great. So 7,
yes.
That's 17, which brings us into your 8 plus 4 is a 12. So yes, a 3. So what that means for you is as we move into 2020, this is your year to be creative. This is your year to manifest. And I love that word, manifest. And I'm sure you could tell based just on how I say it. And it's also your year to communicate. And sharing your voice, whether it might be doing some writing, perhaps doing some speaking, and even some singing, and perhaps even doing some teaching, where you actually get in front of a group, and whatever it is you're creating, I see it as you're teaching people to create that as well. So it's not just about your creativity, it's about you helping others to create as well. Does that make sense for you?
That's actually very interesting. Today I was talking to some friends about putting together a study group.
Ah, look at this. And is that for as you come into 2020, or is that something you're looking to do over the next 3 weeks?
It was actually something we decided that we'll put together after the new year.
Okay. And either one would have been fine because as I was saying earlier in my show, many of us are starting to feel the energy of 2020 already. So many of us are already starting to implement our personal energy as we speak. So we don't necessarily have to wait to the actual calendar changing over to January 1st of 2020. We can actually start implementing a lot of this energy now because we're literally 3 weeks away from it. So we are feeling it already. Do you feel as though you're feeling like you're more creative than usual?
I do actually. And with the whole communication thing, I've been communicating a lot better lately also. So.
Yes. And I think you have a head start on that as well. Only because, again, in the energy that we're currently in, the 2019, collectively, we're all in a 3 energy. So it was this whole year was all about how we are communicating, what we are creating, and what we're manifesting. So because you're going into a personal energy of that in a 4 collective year, yours is about creating and communicating about foundations. Foundations. And now, being that I do know you, and just share with the viewers what it is you do, your profession.
I'm an architect.
Yes, and I think that's just so perfect. That here it is, you're going into your personal energy of 3, and you literally create foundations.
I do. I design foundations.
Exactly. So I think this is going to be a very powerful year for you because of that 3 energy. So you're from what I'm hearing and energetically, it's like manifesting. You're going to be helping many people put together different floor plans. Is what I'm hearing. You're going to be overwhelmed.
Yay!
Yes. And now, the flip side to all of this, as I mentioned before when I was doing the layout of it all, there's always a positive and negative to it. And it's not a negative, so to speak. It's more like a challenge. So if you were not up to your space of wanting to step into this energy and moving forward, and you sort of found yourself wanting to get stuck, you may find yourself worrying about failure, or not succeeding. So,
makes sense.
Yeah, I just want to leave you with this little note to put in the back of your mind. If at any time throughout 2020, you step into a space where you start doubting yourself or what you are doing, I want you to remind yourself that's just a challenge to push through it anyway.
Okay.
Okay, just to push through because it's just a challenge. Because we're all going to get, I like to call them hiccups. We all get little hiccups in our journey that causes us either A, to step back and not do what we want to do, or that hiccup literally pushes us forward to do what we need to do. And that's why it's called a challenge. So I'm encouraging you that should that happen to you at any point in 2020, to take the opportunity and say, you know what? I got this. And push forward and continue doing what you're doing, because as you do move into your personal 3 energy and you literally move into it and you build those foundations, by time 2020 comes to an end, you will continue to grow again, because the challenges are all about helping us to grow. And sometimes...
So don't get scared and play it safe is what you're telling me. Just keep going.
That's exactly what I'm saying. Do not get scared. No playing it safe. No playing it safe.
Okay.
No playing it safe. It's take every challenge that comes your way that makes you a little bit afraid and say, you know what? I got this. Because you do, and you will. Because it's your year.
I can do that.
You can. It's your year to create. It's your year to manifest. It's your year to communicate. And allowing yourself to take, and this is advice I'm going to give to everybody, not just you, but saying yes to every opportunity that comes your way. Whether you are aware of the material or not, yes. So if someone says to you, I want you to teach this class tomorrow, you may not have a clue of what you're doing, but you're going to say yes and do it anyway. Can you do that?
I could.
Okay.
I mean, I don't know if the class will like it, but I can do it.
Oh, I think you'll be fine because by you stepping into that challenge, you're going to be downloaded with the wisdom that you'll need to have for that class, because that's what it's all about.
Because I'm accepting it, so it will help. I'll be able to do it. I got that.
Exactly, and that's what it's all about. So anytime we accept a yes to something we're clueless about, our higher self and higher power and all our angels step in and start downloading information and the wisdom and knowledge for you to have the material you're going to need because you've stepped up. Yes.
I like that.
Yes. You have any other questions?
No, I think I'm good.
Excellent. Thank you so much for calling. Thank you so much for calling. And I'm wishing you a happy 2020 and an awesome collective 4 energy and a powerful personal 3 year for you as you create and manifest and communicate. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye for
Bye-bye.
now. So here you have it, the personal 3 energy. And as I've mentioned before, this is your year to accept yeses. So anytime someone asks you to do something, whatever project that might show up for you, this is your year to say yes. So I like to just conclude our show. I'm gonna just dive right into our full moon's energy for tomorrow. And just to remind you, because our full moon energy actually is activating tonight at 12:12 a.m. Now that's powerful numbers because our full moon's on 12:12 and it's activating at 12:12. So that power of that 12 energy is all about a completion. So really using this full moon's energy to help you dive into journaling and reflecting, letting go, write out a list of all the things you want to let go of. Whatever it may be, write a list. And then write another list of all the things you want to bring into 2020. And take the list of all the things that you want to let go of and burn it. And take the list of the things you want to create for 2020 and start journaling about it, set your intentions on it, and move right into it. Set the foundation and step into that space of creating and communicating and collaborating and partnerships, relationships, because that's the 4 energy. So use tonight's full moon's energy at midnight, 12:12, to your advantage. In fact, I would even encourage you, I don't know if we can do it tonight though, because I think it's a little cloudy out there, but maybe we'll get blessed and the moon will shine out. Go outside, stand outside under that moon, and just allow that energy to literally soak down to your crown chakra. And allow that energy to go from your crown chakra, hit into your third eye, into your throat, into your heart, into your solar plex, into your sacral, down into your root chakra, so you can become grounded and set in the foundation of 2020. So I'm going to leave you with that. I thank you all so much for being here tonight. It was a pleasure. I look forward to connecting with each and every one of you again this Sunday for Joanne's Healing Within at 3 p.m. and join me there. And then I'll be back here the second Wednesday of January. So have yourself a blessed night and have a great, great 2020. Blessings to all. Have a great night.